Good evening. The time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call this Board of Select meeting to order and ask you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And roll call.
Art Kennedy.
Kevin Cunningham.
Peggy Laurie.
And with that, I'd like to make a motion to add one more item onto the approval of the meeting minutes, and that is for something we've forgotten, which was a special meeting for the Board of Selectmen on May 22nd.
Make a motion to add that.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. So there are 2 minutes to approve. The first one would be for the special Board of Selectmen meeting for June 4th, which you have in your packet.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes. Sorry, there is an error on that.
One error.
Yes. On item 3, the appointment was of Audrey.
No, thank you. I was just about to say that.
Not Peggy.
Yeah, Peggy didn't get the point.
And
Popular name.
with that correction, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for 6/4/24.
Motion has been made with a amendment.
And I agree. I'll second it.
Peggy second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. And the other one we just added, which was the special Board of Select meeting for May 22nd, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for 5/22/24.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item D, public comment. This will be the time for anybody from the public wishes to speak. If not, we can move right into old business. Old business, item number 1 is to consider an act on tentative agreement for the town of Plainfield, local 81839, Council 4, ASME AFL-CIO for the supervisors for a collective bargaining agreement covering from the period of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2028. Action by the Selectmen of the town of Plainfield pursuant to the Connecticut General Statute 7-474B, which I will then tag into the other one because we go into executive session at that time. For item 2, which is considered an act on tentative agreement between the town of Plainfield and the Plainfield Town Hall employees, local 1303-185 of Council 4, ASME AFL-CIO for the collective bargaining agreement covering the period July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2029. Action of the Board of Selectmen of the town of Plainfield is pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, Section 7-474B. I would ask that if we would entertain a motion to go to executive session, we'd also invite our town council, Christy Kelly.
Make a motion that we go into executive session
And I'll second it.
with the
Go for it, sorry.
town council, Christy Kelly.
Yep. And Peggy, you will second that?
Yep.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We will now adjourn to executive session at 7:03. I would entertain a motion at this time to come out of executive session with no action taken.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I would also entertain a motion at this time to table the supervisors bargaining unit CBA to our next meeting.
I'll make a motion that we table the supervisors collective bargaining unit till our next meeting.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, so. I would ask that we hereby move pursuant to Connecticut Bargaining Statute, Section 7-474B, to approve the funds necessary to implement the tentative agreement between the town of Plainfield and local 1303-185, Council 4, ASME AFL-CIO, for a collective bargaining agreement covering the period of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2029.
I'll second that.
Necessary to implement the agreement by majority vote.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion, I guess.
I
know.
Seconded it, so.
All right, so it's seconded by Art. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Okay, now we get into new business item F, which is considered an act on tax refunds as requested by the tax collector totaling $101.28. Joseph E. Prince for $30.17 and Scott B. Share of for $71.11.
Make a motion to approve the tax refunds in the amount of $101.28.
And I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Item 2, discuss an act on appointment of an open seat for inland wetlands watercourse. In your packet, you do have a letter of intent. To the Board of Selectmen, I'd like to put my name in consideration for the recent opening of the Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Commission. Thank you for your time and consideration. Michael Desjardins.
I'll make a motion, excuse me. I make a motion that we appoint Michael Desjardins to the opening in the Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission.
And that's a Democrat position.
Yes.
Correct.
Second that.
Motion's been made and a second. Any other discussion? Other than, first of all, saying thank you to, I know Mike's taking over for Ron, and Ron's done many, many years of service to the town of Plainfield. I want to thank him for that personally, so thank you for, if you could relay that. And again, thank you for Michael for stepping up as well. So, motion's been made, seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Item 3, discuss an act on appointment for the open seat for Conservation Commission. You do have a letter in number 3. It's actually dialogue between us.
Yes.
So again, thank you very much for stepping up, Heather. Have you read through?
Yes, and Heather, may I say that that is one of the best informative letters that I've read for any commission, and I appreciate it. It gave a lot of information on your qualifications, your background, what your beliefs are, that type of thing. So I appreciate that. I wish more, there was more.
I wasn't sure how to get.
You did a great job.
Your passion came across definitely in the
It
letter.
did, 100%, and like I said, it was very well done.
All right, so we have a person looking to be appointed. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Heather Brisson to the Conservation Committee. With her qualifications, yes,
Second.
Motion's been made in a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. And there'll be letters sent to both parties to your home saying when you come in to get you sworn in and go through the process. All right? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, item number 4. I would just preface this by saying item number 4, 5, and 6 have a relationship because we have to choose annual town meeting time. We have to do a public hearing for the ordinances. And we also have to do a town meeting to appropriate and approve the $300,000 for the interwell. So I would ask you, when you look through this, to consider an appropriate date, whether you want to do it all in one date or whether you want to do it split up or not.
I would want to do it all in one day. We're already fatiguing the people with the town meetings, and it's the summertime.
We can't do it in one day.
And reasons?
Number 5 has to be a public hearing.
Correct.
And then go to a town meeting
Right,
afterwards.
but you can do all in one night.
So if we did the public hearing first,
Yep.
then we could have all 3 of them on the same town meeting night.
And I agree with him 100%. We're fatiguing the people of the town.
The public hearing has to probably be
Well,
10 days prior.
So let's look at that. From our meeting tonight, you could do a public hearing on the 8th, just before our regular meeting.
So do we have to do that in the month of July? Like, is this got to be done like in a certain time frame? Only because it's summertime, people are on vacation, and we have a hard enough time getting people to come to these meetings as it is. I think we should afford them all the chances we can
For the public hearing, or for all of it?
for all of it.
Okay,
That's my question.
I would disagree only because you're talking about utilization of funds for the inter-oil and the third one.
Okay, so yes,
So you have to get that one moving as soon as possible.
and we would have to have a public hearing on it,
You would actually have just a town meeting.
just a town meeting
Yeah, you
on it.
could schedule, if you wanted to schedule a public hearing portion of it just prior to that, So like it started at 6:30 and then have the actual town meeting at 7. That can be done at the same night, because you're really just talking about something that's already been approved by the state attorney
For the unit.
for your interval.
Do you have the charter?
Yeah.
You usually do.
Yep.
Could you check 24? No, I can't go on.
241.
Was it 25? 25.
For which item?
EF ordinances.
They're done annually. You mean that one?
No, wait.
Enactment of a town ordinance.
Yeah,
Which item? There's 7.
yeah, what do we have, what's the process?
The town
Public
meeting,
hearing.
the town, well, it says right here, number 1, town meeting shall have legislative power to enact the ordinances in consistency with the sections of the charter. At least one public hearing by the Board of Selectmen. We propose ordinances to the town meeting. Town meeting shall take action on any proposed ordinances within 30 days after the public hearing.
That's what I was looking for, in 30 days.
Yep.
It's not.
No, there's no
You can do it
space.
right after.
You can do it immediately that day.
So again, I reiterate that for Royal, I'm 100% in, because it's a grant, or is it steep grant, is that what you call it?
Yes.
Okay, so because it's a steep grant and that's a time-sensitive matter.
It's a steep grant, but it is a grant.
A grant,
Yep.
okay, yep. That is a time-sensitive matter, excuse me, not matter. So I would 100% agree with that, but I would like to table, is that what we would do, table the other 2,
Okay,
or,
well, yes and no.
okay, I'm listening.
The third one is actually the annual town meeting on the audit.
Which we will.
Which should have been done in February,
Mm-hmm.
I think we've gone long enough with that process.
and people are looking for that.
It's the only reason why I wanted to try to group them together. That's the only reason. And then if you do group it together, you're also making it so that you don't, like you said, you're not inundating with
That's my
town meeting after town
concern.
meeting.
Yeah, that's my concern, that we are,
Uh-huh.
like, after the last 2 meetings we had in the same week.
I mean, my opinion is we're still doing business of the town.
No, I understand completely. I just would like to see more participation, if at all possible, when we can.
So that's the night you were thinking, the 15th?
Well, if you were doing the 15th, that's what I was thinking. You do the public hearing portion of the, for the ordinances first, and then you could definitely want to do the other 2, because we've been waiting forever for the annual audit.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is required that we move forward as quickly as possible, so if it's approved, we can do the expenditures at once. The 15th, the only reason why I put that is because it's between our other meetings.
That's all I need to know is the time period between the public hearing and the town meeting.
And the only other thing I want to mention with that is, thank you for stepping up to the Conservation Commission. If anybody here knows of anybody else that would like to be on the Conservation Commission, so we can get you guys up and running and doing things, your normal meeting would have been July 15th. But we don't have another person yet to join in, it would be 3.
So we need a quorum of 4, is that what we?
Yeah, you have 7 that are all allowed to go on there, so we need
Right.
2 more.
So we have 2, yeah, so if anybody wants to be on,
2 more people.
wants to join Heather in a very worthwhile
And Nick.
commission, yeah. You and Nick.
What's the
Do they have
I think they do.
affiliation for the conservation?
I think it's both, isn't it? The
Affiliation for the
fee.
conservation?
And it's listed on the town website. Can I take a look there?
What is Nick?
Nick is
Unaffiliated.
unaffiliated still. I don't think he's changed parties or made a part of the decision, but that's besides the point.
It doesn't matter because we need both.
So I was thinking the 15th only because you can do a lot of work all in one shot, and 2 of them definitely needed. Like you said, you could move off the,
If you're gonna move, if you're gonna move just one, I wouldn't do that for the same reasons I just specified. You know what I mean?
but so.
2's gotta be done.
Yeah, if we do this as step by step here, I think the best thing to do is to make the motion to just get them all in time frame too. Public hearing is 6 p.m. for the
You're at 6 or 6:30?
for the public hearing for the review of the ordinances, and then 6:30 for the, that, or 7.
No, that's not good.
Meaning,
6:30 for a town meeting's fine with me too.
Yeah,
so we would do 6
So-
o'clock?
6 for the public hearing,
Yep.
6:30 to incorporate both the town annual audit and then the question for the approval of the appropriation funds.
And can we approve the ordinances too?
Okay.
And with the ordinance is what I'm trying to say. When we do that, can we spell out what those ordinances are?
We usually put a packet there available to the
Okay,
group,
that's my
like
question.
the ones you had before.
Yep, just so that people know what it is, the ordinance we're talking about.
Sure.
So they don't have to go, a lot of people can't reference it.
And I can tell you right now, so for public record, the ordinances that we're talking about right now, to approve or reject proposed ordinance 141, it's an ordinance that concerns the pension board. Right now in the town list of ordinances, there's a pension board, I think it's 26 is the one currently, but it has nothing other than, we can make a pension board. It doesn't talk about
That's why
what it's made of.
The pension plan maybe is
Yeah, so we don't even have anything about a board. Number 3 on that list there says to approve or reject proposed ordinance number 142. And that's basically repealing old ordinances that have no value or meaning anymore because either state statutes now in place or there's things out there that no longer qualify, like no drink, no sales of alcohol. There's a list of those, we'll have those as well.
Okay, you'll have the packet. That's just the question I have.
Start on number 4.
Sure.
I'll make a motion to set the annual town meeting date for July 15 at 6:30.
And I'll second it.
All right, okay, any other discussion?
The town ordinance 141, 142 on July 15 at 6 o'clock at the town hall.
And I'll second it.
Motion is made for 6 o'clock at the town hall for the review of the public hearing for ordinances 142, 141, 142. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The third one.
I'll make a motion to set the town meeting date for the appropriation of $300,000 into Royal Site Brownfield Assessment on July 15 at 6:30 at the town hall.
And I'll second it. This is on the top calendar right away.
All in favor say aye.
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 Okay, the only thing we're missing now
Mhm.
is to put the ordinances on to the town meeting.
You can entertain a motion to add that in if you like,
Can I make a motion to add that to the agenda?
or modify the, no, let's just add that to the agenda.
Setting up
Item 7,
item 7 to set the town meeting date for
approval of ordinances 142 and 141.
Right.
And I'll-
Motion is made to
and
add
I'll second it.
agenda Item number 7, second.
Mhm.
All in favor say aye.
Aye. So just to be clear, at 6 o'clock we're doing the public hearing, 6:30 we're doing the town meeting,
All 3 of these.
all 3 of these.
Yep.
That's-
Well, not
As
yet.
soon as we vote on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Item 7,
I'll make a motion to approve the town meeting date of July 15th at 6:30 for the approval of the ordinances 141, 142.
okay.
And I'll second it.
Motion's been made in a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 I don't think we have any other at this point.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 24 p.m. And action. I'd like to call this WPCA meeting to order for June 24th. The time is now 8:25. Roll call.
Art Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham.
Peggy Board.
Okay. Item C is to approve minutes of the special WPCA meeting dated June 4th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minute dates for June 4th, 2024.
And I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
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 Public comment? Hearing none, we can go into new business. Discuss an act on the bid opening for WPCA sludge handling building and ventilation/heating. So it's item 1 in your packet. A whole lot of bids came out, huh?
That's it.
1. Controlled air for $299,000. Stephanie's here if you have any questions on it. We did not anticipate this amount. We did anticipate a little lower, but we do have enough funds to cover the increased amount, so we can take care of this. So what is your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from Controlled Air for $299,105.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
All right?
Aye. Item number 2, there is a group of time item transfers. I wanted to share with you something just to make it a little easier. Kelly put a list with a description to help you out. So she was taking monies from different line items and putting it into to cover certain things. So that's where they're going to go into with a decrease in repairs, overtime, and GIS mapping. So health and life, small amount, $540. Computers, $68, just because it went over budget just by $68. Lab expenses, increased prices. The lab cost, materials, additional cost of materials for the sludge. The next one is contracted services for uniform costs. Water, cost of water increases during the year for $2,800. Small overages, and just covering by $1 or $21 for interest and also principal. Salaries, new employee was added this fiscal year, so there was an additional $10,000. An E1 pump, we have those available, so that's a purchase of new pump from Moose Pond. The decreases came out of monies available were for repairs, due to the ARPA funding, they didn't need all that. You also had a balance for a lower overtime than anticipated and GIS mapping. So,
What GIS mapping, it says that uploading of maps will continue in the next year.
We're working on an online database. Some of it's open to the public, some of it's just for us, where we overlay all our manholes and all our sewer mains and any mapping of any of the roads. So it's all on one location first.
So we didn't get that accomplished.
We're still,
It's still
every year we get pieces of it done.
Yep,
So we just didn't get as much done as previous years.
as usual.
going from no GIS whatsoever to putting different streets on, it takes
So
a
I think
while.
last year we kind of started getting a program. I started getting a program up and running the year before, so.
How far are you into it?
Both of our contracts done when we upgraded large sections, but we still have a lot of easements and the smaller street maps to overlay, so right of ways. So I'd say I probably only have maybe 30% of our maps uploaded and overlaid. So I still have like 70% of our maps uploaded.
The biggest issues are obviously, once you have it mapped out, you go to a house, it gets a call and saying, okay, we have a back into our property, and you got to verify that you have an easement or not. So that does help if you have that information available as you get there.
As every year that goes, I can kind of make it more detailed and in-depth. So we're right now, the basics, mains and manholes, but then I add a little maintenance steps. So if we do an inspection, I could, do an inspection log right on the mapping. I could upload on in the field pictures, so people can find it out at ground in the middle of the field. So every year I can make it more and more sophisticated and make it more and more useful.
What are you expecting, how long, like, I'm not putting you on the spot or anything, but is it 5 years, 10 years, 20
I'd
years?
say probably 5 years. Once we get the bulk of our mapping done, there's only a few new maps that come in every year.
Then it would be
New
just
businesses
update.
that come in, so then, once I get the bulk of the mapping done, the price should drop significantly once the whole map is uploaded.
And as different sites are added on, and you can just make makes it much easier for staff to just add in one or two at a time.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, but not pertaining to that.
Okay.
You just made me think of the MS4. There's a similar thing.
Well, it's, MS4 is just for water.
Right, for the stormwater.
Right.
Right. But did they do a mapping like that for that?
Yeah, they could,
They did, okay.
or they, I don't know if they've
I
done it.
remember
but
the
the
plan.
highway department kind of takes care of MS4. But hypothetically, you could add another layer to the GIS mapping if they wanted, and they could track what they're doing and when they're doing it. If the town wanted.
Property, zoning, water, sewer. We do work occasionally with electric, but you still do call before you dig. For gas as well. So what's your pleasure on this?
I'll make a motion to approve the line item transfers in the amount of $42,334.
And I'll second it.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And other than that,
Make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
At 8:31.